He is equalizing through top 90 HP. See what they do on the first mid. If I remember right, I've actually reviewed a demo of Mike's before, and he likes to jump aggressively, so we'll see how Captain handles it. He's already jumped. So Captain does have 300 right now, jumps instantly in. Just before you can jump in, notice he has gunboats. So he can counter jump this soldier right now, goes for the air shot, takes the rocket. Ooh, his entire team is low ground right now, it's not very good. So my first instinct already was that he should have counter jumped that first soldier who was jumping him, and he could have avoided a lot of damage. Instead, he was pushed to the low ground, and therefore his entire team's on low ground now. This first scout should go down though, eventually. Wow. That sucks that Rando landed those directs, I think, to kill Nox. He finished them off. Nox should have surfed those, but I think Rando would have jumped him and killed him regardless. So now Captain's gonna go in for a play on the medic. And he instantly jumps back. That was a fancy jump backwards, I like those. So let's see here. Oh god, I'm getting messages. Tell him I'll talk to you in an hour. Be right back. Alright, let's resume. So here's the interesting thing. They're doing a forward hold and they have Forsaken and Sniper. This is always... I'm kind of interested to see where he plays right now. See, it sucks that he had to peek that before getting 300, because I think he might have been building Uber and therefore didn't have crit heals and wasn't watching enough. Now they kind of have to give it up. It's always nice to have a forward hold with the Sniper though. It just makes things a little awkward if the second scout can't or won't, I don't know, like, build the Uber for you, because in that situation he could have been peeking drop down at 300. He could have maybe 1v1 that soldier, but we'll see. So they're walking with Uber, they have the Pyro. Seem like they're okay. I guess we should talk about their last defense before this push gets too far. So they have a Pyro, and otherwise they're completely standard. I feel like they probably could have had the second scout, Forsaken. He got off Sniper, went scout. I think he was probably taking shots the entire time, but it's more consistent a lot of the time to have a engineer sentry. Gosh, that scout shot him for a really long time. I think he should have turned around for him. Then again, he was 99% with Nox, so that was a really, really close hold, even though it didn't look like it. If they had Uber, I think they would have been able to hold it. It's kind of funny because just a minute ago I was talking about maybe a scout not building Uber and Captain might have had to. I wasn't really watching, but 1%, that could be the difference in a lot of cases where maybe you have to switch a target and you don't want to. Just kind of sucks. So again, going their side, we have Mike already jumped in, he's going that way. Scout's already up. Scout and Captain are coming up. This is really, really good. The only thing he has to worry about is the soldier on the opposite side. This soldier's going to be completely free when he comes through the closet right now. But he hasn't seen him yet. So we'll see what happens. This is really good. I love it when soldiers reset in the middle of a mid and they just reload, and now he's probably going to bomb again. Not sure if I agree with that one. I don't think he should... It's not his problem to deal with that soldier, like, ever. He already has, what, a scout and a demo and a medic here? They're totally safe from one soldier. Right now, if he put pressure, look at where their medic is. He can see him underneath mid. If he had just bombed the slope, that soldier is trying to fill up his own soldier's damage, right? Is he going to kill his medic? Probably not. He's landing right here, but he could have bombed that medic and maybe killed him. I mean, instead, it's just two different styles of play, and I always advocate for aggressive trading rather than defensive playing around your medic, no matter what, in almost every situation. Because if you look at it right now, look at who's alive for a reason. They're 5 up. Ascent only has 3 players. Because they gave up all that positioning on mid, Ascent is somehow winning mid even though it's 3v5. Like, it doesn't seem right to me. They should have been punishing him a little more aggressively. I mean, now they're going to walk in. But it also leaves things open for DM, right? Because now we just saw Enigma randomly get to 1v1 and Forsaken, and now he's going to back cap and makes things really sloppy. It's like they should stack mid, or they could stack mid, rather. But now what's going to end up happening is they're just going to trade Ubers, nothing's going to happen while Enigma back cap. So they're going to have to back up no matter what. They force them back up. Now Captain has to stop this, but realistically, shouldn't be him. Yeah, it should be Micah trying to stop it. I don't think he should come back with the Uber. Because what it could be happening right now is, where's the enemy medics? The enemy medic's walking into his house. Where's his Uber? So his scout is chasing, so that's actually the enemy house. Okay. This is alright. Not sure if that scout's going to kill anyone. Yeah, he won't. He might actually die. Ooh, that was close. We still have Shrugger behind. Shrugger goes down. So both scouts are down for Ascent. It should be a really, really easy mid-fight. Mid-push. It's possible that if Captain had trusted Mike to take the 1v1 versus the scout and had a scout go back, that Captain could have chased down Fragile before he got out, but I'm not sure. It's a little iffy, I guess. They're both like valid decisions you can make. I just think I always trust a soldier chasing more than I do a scout in those type of situations because it was so open, and I think the scout had too much ground to cover. See, walking into mid for free. Ooh, that was weird. Oh, that was a trap underneath mid, maybe? Should I turn on X-ray for demos if that's possible? I could, but I don't like to do that because then my analysis might be including things that the player usually doesn't see. So I don't want to include that up top, man. One thing I should do. Increase the interrupts so it stops stuttering. Let's see, equal Ubers. I want to see what they do to here to try and force him. So he just walks in, pushes in through patio, manages not to die, surprising. So yeah, it looks like what was happening right then was essentially Captain takes the 1v1 on patio, and at the same exact time, Mike jumps through choke. So the pocket's going to be looking at Captain, and if he turns to look at Mike, then Captain will beat him in a 1v1, and so on. And of course it gives Mike the option, if he can't get the medic, all he has to do is land one rocket on the soldier and he's good. This is a really, really good situation for Captain right now. He sees they pop immediately. The soldier probably is not going to force him, as long as he doesn't take too much damage right now. He does. So the only thing I can talk about that is he knows he's about to get focused. What he could have done is RJ off the wall because he sees everyone is looking at him, and he could have dodged that last soldier rocket, which I think might have been able to milk it for another second or two. See, why chase that soldier? You know the medic's Uber's out. Why don't you just get the free medic pick right now? And now the last seconds of your Uber did actually nothing here. He had a free medic pick that he gave up. And now his team ends up dying, but a lot of this post-DM stuff, I mean, yeah, maybe if he was a little more effective, even without going for the medic, he would have been able to get someone, but I mean, the medic's the easier choice to make, I think, in that situation. So Fragile does go down to something I wasn't watching. Let's fast forward again. Enigma's spy right now. That's interesting. Let's see. They know their medic's still dead. They could actually walk into mid right now if they really wanted to. Looks like they will. Interesting trap. That's a really interesting trap over there. I haven't seen that in a long time. So they get positioning before Fragile Respawns comes into mid. That was a nice air shot. Really, really nice air shot. He sees Mike going in. Gets the health pack. Now with the health pack he can chase. He was trying to go for the massive pogo jump off the slope. So somehow, where is Nox right now? So Nox actually managed to die during that push without Captain somewhere, because they were overextending for frag. So now they know it's Senna as Uber, they're pushing into mid. They should all get out for free here, they're already 2 down. So there's no way they can realistically force them here. The only possible play they can make is if Captain decided to suicide. He could sit on patio right now and he knows they just capped. He can blind jump the mid staircase or the choke going into 2. But that's such a risky play. Because I think if he just builds the Uber full right now, worst case scenario, you spam them down and then you can reset with a forward hold. But they're actually going behind him. They should have that should have been called a really long time ago. The medic should be fine. Yeah, so his medic's safe, everyone's good. They actually pick off a demo man because it looks like Fragile didn't flash him during Sticky Trap. And now they're all suiciding to try and kill Nox, which is a little interesting. See, look at the cap time right now. Who's capping? Rando. So I don't know if Rando's playing Pocket or Roamer here, but we'll just assume he's playing Roamer because I know him and Mela switched at one point during the tournament. Every single time, if you're playing Badlands and you're a soldier and you're not at mid, you should just run Pain Train. Like, it does not matter. Like, if you can cap the Spire with 2 times in this situation, his entire team was chasing. This would have been capped a few seconds earlier than this. They would have had 2, which means they would have had forward spawns. It helps out everything. I mean, if you watch my demos for I-52, there's a reason why every single time on this map I'm playing with a Pain Train, like a huge portion of the time. It's because it gives you a lot of opportunities on this map to either back cap Spire or not have any scouts cap Spire and you just have a soldier. Just watch Chaos. I think Chaos is going to have to take in this Uber, or he doesn't, but let's see. Chaos is in, catches the soldier with the soldier. Soldier with the soldier. So Captain finishes him off. So they got mid for free. So right now, here's the question. Do you keep chasing right now without your team? Like, he could be walking through choke if he really wanted to. That would be a little interesting. I mean, yeah, sure, the demo's there, but see, if he had pushed the choke earlier right now and didn't stack it, and Badonsky was still there and didn't notice the cap time, it's possible he could have gotten a free demo pick, but it's not like it really matters. I wouldn't make that play most of the time, I'm just pointing it out. I think this is a safer play to make. He's gotten in really far. Usually there's a ton of Ascent already sitting up top and they're already spamming, but I think Ascent was slow on getting up top. So Nox just finally gets forced by something and he's just on the combo. Like, there's nothing Ascent can do there. They're screwed. They're all gonna die to Captain. He gets the medic, gets a demo man. All he has to do right now is protect Nox, and he's good. So there's a soldier coming straight on Nox. Ooh, that was really close. He does surf, but it was because both of his scouts went down during that push that it was so close. Not sure if I agree with spamming a pyro with rockets in this situation. That's scary. So he's just doing the general spam while building right now. The 90% Uber, they're still spamming. And there's no reason to be doing this type of spam right now because you have slight Uber advantage. I don't know if they know that, but maybe it isn't immediately obvious. Because if they knew they had the 20% advantage, they should have been walking in already. But it seems like they're just gonna play the really safe game and not even... Okay, but now they're doing it. Let's see how this goes. Cadis finally gets it with... I mean, see what happens now. So now they have Uber. Let's see, Mike's probably about to die on the right, top right. One scout is down. So now they just need to leave. I think that was a little sloppy. I know they were probably trying to double spam down the gun from main, but I mean, what's the point? Because if you had just pushed a few seconds earlier, your entire team could have had a 300 overheal. Because his medic had to heal up him and Mike because they peeked and you're doing that weird harass spam, right? They could have just overhealed everyone, did a normal push without trying to get fancy, and I think it would have been more successful and it would have been easier on top of that. See, they're pushing out a front door. Captain's threatening the point. So yeah, Captain can do this sort of play right now because he has gunboats, so he has the mobility to get in and out, and it's only going to take him, like, 30 damage. Now his whole goal is to just counter jump around. Interesting. That soldier, I feel like, should have definitely killed his medic and, like, his entire team. Because they were stacked 4 or 5 at choke. But he didn't. I really feel like that red soldier should have been right on top of all of them, though. Like, I don't think Nox should have gotten out. I know he probably got knocked or something, but... I mean, realistically, I don't know if this is, like, common knowledge for a lot of people, but make sure you uncrouch if you're chasing people during those types of situations, because when you're crouched, you take extra knockback, so you always want to make sure you're not getting knocked back. It's like, especially if you're jumping into scouts on mid. See, now because they have this sniper, and I know he just headshot somebody, but it does make this awkward situation where essentially they're pushing and they have a sniper, but snipers aren't very good if you have to just walk in and push. I mean, they are just going to take everything for free this way, and so basically they're saying, okay, you guys either... Oh, wow, what's Traveler doing there? Is he going to die? That was a really, really nice save by Nox. They don't have to worry about the back cap. All you have to do is get frags here. This is such a good Uber right now. Oh, he's got the scout with him. Ooh. I was expecting that to be a much slower push with the sniper, but he ended up going aggressive and getting him anyway. So now both the soldiers still in. This is an interesting decision to make, because I think Mike's going to go for a play or he's going to get out. There's only like one or the other you can really do in this situation, and I think he doesn't have the HP to do a play, so he's getting out. So now it's pushing 6v6, non-Uber versus non-Uber. So now it's coming out of pure DM. Let's see what happens. Spike messes up the jump, instantly dies, or the rocket, instantly dies to both scouts. That's really bad. I mean, realistically, there's no point to jump the Spire that early, because I think it was still quarter capped. All you had to do is push out with Cadis and just clean her off, but... Sent caps. This is ballsy by a sense. They're going to try and push this. Let's see, so randos, they're actually going to try and push it. Okay. See, let's watch Captain comes in. So we're not even going to look at anything except for Captain's perspective right now. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, that was just a bad play by Ascent to try and walk into mid on that situation. You know they have basically equal numbers because Captain's going to respawn. And you're pushing mid on Badlands through House of all things. Like, it's one thing if you're going through Valley, but... I mean, either it's so hard. Like, they have mid. They can hold the chokes. I wish he used shotgun more, I agree, Yuki. It feels like he's using the gunboat's mobility a lot, but he could do a lot of the same thing he's doing with Domal Shadi. So just get Enigma for free, let's see if they walk in, just kill him. They're suiciding a scout and a soldier right now? I saw that scout just walk in on the demo man, didn't he? Yeah, I feel like if you see your scout running in like that, then you sort of have an obligation as a soldier to spam. I feel like if he spammed just a little bit, it's possible that Fragile would have been scared enough to pop. Because Mike was suiciding somewhere else at the same time, I think, so there's nothing that can punish him for it. It's just free spam he could have gotten off that might have done something. So they're walking out main. He should give most of this over to his Demo Man. His Demo Man is probably not going to get out. He shouldn't even be here right now. His Demo Man gets out. See, there's no because basically what happened was the Demo Man gets the Uber, and then he knocks his Captain, right? So Cadis is like, okay, I'll get out. So Cadis jumps out, and then they swap again. So now the Captain doesn't have the Uber because he has to stop point. But they could have saved themselves an extra second and a half of Uber if they didn't have to swap all those times. Just Uber mismanagement. Then he gets rolled by Mela's air shot. It's all going to come down to pure DM from everyone else right now. This 3v3, Ascent's going to have the spawns as they're closer. They're probably just going to reset on Spire and hope to hold this next push. And Captain just respawn. So it looks like Ascent decides not to push on it. So again, they're using Forsaken as sniper, and they're just taking over main. They clear out all the stickies. He's probably just going to leave them now and go reset up top. Also, they're going to do this double soldier spam in bottom right, and they're going to hope to pick somebody. So I want to see who's actually there right now. I don't think anyone is there. Who could possibly be there? So, what the heck? Oh, he's actually watching that from spawn. That's pretty clever. I think it's rando. But what's the point of watching it from... You think he's worried about double soldier spam right now, maybe? Maybe he heard them getting overhealed over there, so he goes to that safe spot and just watches them? It's kind of cool. The only issue is they can literally walk in if you do that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that, because they're... Well, I guess because they have a sniper, so they want to play off of him, but if you have a scout in the situation and they give you top right like that, sometimes you can turn into a full-out push, because you could just take over that entire top side, spam down the gun from the opposite side, and you just walk in for free. Because realistically, what's the point of getting a pick? You have an advantage, right? But if they give you an advantage for free by just not having enough people or not having the right layout on their last point, then you don't need to get a numbers advantage. They're giving you all the positional advantage you need. Now they're going to try and spam it from main, and they just headshot the Demo Man. So if they... Did they get that gun just now? I didn't hear it explode. Yeah, they didn't. But they're down the Demo Man. One thing that could be good right now is, since they have an engineer, I mean, you might be able to pogo to the point. If a soldier has pain train, it might be worth it. I would consider it. If I was Roamer, I think I would do that with a push, but they have a sniper, and snipers make everything a little hard. So yeah, instantly someone gets on the point. Now you can see the whole team's down there. The pyro drops to reflect and protect the people on point. Usually this would mean a scout's walking in top left with the soldier, but now it's a sniper, and that was terrible. Just try to rocket jump into a sentry wall, but honestly spawns and just runs at them all. I felt like a full suicide to try and make Fragile pop. I feel like they could have just walked in. It felt really weird. Not sure what they were doing. So Cadis is threatening point. Oh, he was going to land that first pipe. Is he going to crater? So we have Scout going for backup. Look at all of Ascent's HP. They pop, but the soldier with the Uber right now is 70 HP. One of the scouts at 10 HP and the demo's at 4. Like, the slightest DM differences matter so much sometimes. They're... Yep, Forsaken gets the medic. So this is the interesting call. Can he actually take these guys? He can't take all these guys. He has to like bait him into a choke and Uber on it. See, right there, the only possible play that he could have done after rocket jumping out to here, if he wanted to kill, I'm assuming he's going to get at least one kill here. Guess not. But basically you want to bait them into the choke, right? He could have rocket jumped backward, met up with his medic, instantly pop and rocket jump into choke right as the soldier and the scout are coming around the corner. And he would have gotten maybe more damage or another kill. We'll see. Ooh. This is the hard part. When you only have a 2-man Uber and you're not fully committed and you're not fully out, you get completely surrounded and you just die. The only... See, it's a little bit counterintuitive, but in a lot of cases, if you know there are people behind you, it's really, really easy to just push forward. Like, what happened... It's like, why did Nox and Captain back up to the house here? Because realistically, what's the point? Because what they could have done was push to the enemy's closet with Nox, or push literally into the enemy's choke and have the entire team behind them, and therefore Nox would be safe. Going here with Nox is typically the safe thing to do, but I'm pretty sure he's just going to die. Had a call for back captain, want to jump Spire, is what Kata says. That makes a lot of sense. Because usually I don't see you jump that crazily. That makes a lot more sense, because I just saw that scout go drop down too. But you have to be dynamic enough with your Uber sometimes to realize where the safe areas are, and just stereotypically backing up as a safe area for your medic isn't the right call to make in a lot of situations. It's to go forward. So again, we see Ascent sort of like testing the boundaries where they think they have a push, and they do for a while, and then now they don't. And Demo's dead, so now they're getting all the way pushed back. The situations it creates, though, when Ascent does that, is now it's sort of like a DM fight, because neither team has Uber. And they're both fighting over Spire. So if Ascent is really good in these types of situations, it's like a good call sometimes to make bad decisions at first to force DM and like chaos. It gets a little interesting. So they're backing up. Mike's gonna get that. Oh, they're probably backing up because Captain's out of ammo. Oh my god, that sucks. I was wondering, like, why are they backing up? They both have the same Uber, and I mean, both teams are one down, but Captain doesn't have any ammo. Man, that sucks. He's gonna have a force enemy medic. It's gonna get out. Ooh, that's really, really bad. So Mela gets behind because one of his scouts died earlier, I think. Probably half a cool. I don't remember. The only thing I could have thought of right there, and this was my personal instinct the moment I saw he forced the Uber in that corner. And this is just my personal playstyle, and I know pretty much every other pocket will play differently in some cases. But what's the point in backing up with your medic in this situation? Like, if your pocket and you pop their Uber, and your Uber's being taken by teammates, and your teammates all backing up, if you don't cause a distraction, this is how I feel about the game in a lot of cases as pocket. Like, I always advocate for aggressive trading more so than backing up. What Captain could have done instead is jump up top to battlements. And from battlements, then he keeps everyone on Ascent in check. Like, even though Mela killed everyone from behind, let's say Mela wasn't there, weren't they all probably going to die anyway to these soldiers if they got caught in that choke? Like Rando and let's say Mela was in front and not behind. Like, they probably would have died there regardless. Or maybe taken a lot of damage or dropped players or whatever. But usually, I mean, what he could have done was he could have jumped bats and kept the entire front players of Ascent in check, and therefore they would have had to kill him. And then it also gives him the opportunity to go for plays. Like, he can get behind the team, he could possibly backcap if he has Pain Train on. If he thinks that he's going to stay back there for a long time, he could defend the point, he could do lots and lots of things. It's just style difference, though. If you think your team can get out and you can get out, then do one or the other, but I really advocate for just trading.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Teapot asks, some medics I talk to prefer to milk with Ubers long enough to allow the enemy team to Uber in through the choke into your territory just so you have the better Uber. I argue that in most situations it's better to milk for 1 to 2 seconds and then stuff them in the choke. I completely agree, actually. I think about 99% of the time, people will say a better Uber is better just because yours lasts longer even though yours is less effective. So just remember, I mean, if the enemy team is so far away by the time you pop, most of the time it's going to be a bad Uber. Gosh, this is so hard for Captain to push through. And he really had to force that. He had to walk through demo spam and probably a rocket or two just to get up here to try and defend the point. And they got back up. I mean, did they really have to do that though? Couldn't they have just stayed? I mean, if they're all the way set up on that, there's no reason to force it. They could have just chilled out. This is interesting. House rollout. I haven't seen this in a really long time. The demo's blind spamming slope, so he gets out for free. It's kind of funny because house rollouts fell out of style, even though they're really good still. And so he gets out for free, and the demo and medic, etc., aren't spamming him. So he literally just walks out, he sees the enemy team walking up slope, jumps them. I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world. Nothing complex. Just sees enemies, jumps them, and kills them. And most of that only happened because Badonsky was spamming the slope blindly, which is usually the right call, but if he had spammed house, maybe if he knew the timing a little better and was like, hey, I don't see anyone slope, then I should probably blind spam house, he could have blocked them in and changed up the mid a little bit, but... So now this is a really decided game, or a round rather, because you're popping in with Uber advantage and they're down both scouts. He could just walk straight on the point right now. Surprised, what is his, oh, they didn't cap 2? Really? One of the scouts got up? Wait, what? Yeah, I think I'm missing something big, because I feel like... I honestly have no idea what happened, because not only did they mess up the back cap, but then their medic died or dropped. I feel like something happened maybe and I wasn't paying attention. I don't get it. That should never happen. But anyway, they reset it to Captain's trying to hold it. See, I mean, if you're holding 2, what's the point? I know he was trying to get the demo man and the medic and stuff, but you know they're going to have backup soon. And I think it was a good idea to go for that play, but at the same time, it's also a good idea to just sit on high ground and spam them. Like, instead of going all in onto low ground into that combo, he could have just jumped on battlements above them and done almost the same amount of damage while taking, you know, way less. He was going for the medic. Oh, get on top. Get on top. Yes, he's in the spot. He's in the fucking spot. I love this spot. Why'd he drop? Why? Why did you drop from the spot? That's such a cool spot. He could have literally just sat up there, and then on the next push, he could have spammed the he could have done double soldier spam from the vents, and it would have been hilarious. Oh my gosh. What could have been. Pogo's back in. Man, it's risky pogoing into a full team when you know they're pushing with your advantage, and he realizes that he's probably dead. Uh-oh. If he got unluckily bounced at the choke as he landed, he was fucked. Yeah. Ascent just overstaying their welcome. Like, it's good that Nox decided not to take Captain right now on the Uber because he knows the scouts with him. He just loops all the way through house, comes out patio, kills the entire combo. Like, Ascent should have known that Nox was that close to Uber. Captain solo pushing last. This is perfect. No one could stop him. It was perfect. So let's see, he's got full 300, he sees Mike jumping top right, he has a scout with him in bottom, scout with him top left, I think Demo's behind him a window, yeah. So let's see, enemy team's all on slow, that means, yeah, there's only at most one person top right now. Ooh, he just got air shot. That air shot just killed his entire mid, I think that might have been Mela. I think that was a blind pre-fire to where he thought he was going to jump, boost him all the way to his team, and he basically lost because of that. That's rough. Not much you can do about those type of crazy shots a lot of the time as Soldier, like it just happens.
The control point is being contested. We have lost the control point.
Interesting they give up 2. And they don't do a forward hold. A lot of teams, I mean, if you're going to give up 2 and your medic didn't die, then you could at least do a forward hold. But they decide not to. Okay, just got the cannonballs in the best angle here. Stalemates are enjoyable. I mean, Forsaken... Oh, that was good. I mean, Forsaken's been sniping main this whole time, so there hasn't been that much spam on Captain, so they get a demo, so they don't have to worry about Sticky Trap. It's like, where's the Sense combo right now? The Sense combo left a long time ago, apparently. They're all just set up outside. This is really hard to push against that soldier. That soldier's on the perfect position. Like, both soldiers, look at that. You have a soldier there on the slope, and you also had a soldier on top of the gate. They're ready to double spam this side. Nox can't even peek right now. Look at where Nox is. He's had to wait out the spam. Now he's coming out. See, now is the time he needs a push. If he wants to get in, he has to push right now. I don't understand why he's still sitting here. Like, it feels like he's been sitting there for way too long. And now he finally pushes when there's a scout up top. Like, if he had pushed 5 seconds earlier, then he could have potentially gotten right on the entire team and been doing a way more active style of pushing. I guess maybe they're worried about a back cap, or they weren't sure if they want to actively push, and now they back up. So I guess they're mostly interested in force... Why force the Uber and then reset and run away, though? Doesn't make sense to me. What do you think of counter jumping versus jumping early just to get rockets on midair, then going to your hoodoo/window on mid? I want to say most of the time counter jumping is better because early rockets are more easily dodgeable if you do it more than 1 round in a row, but I don't know. See, now they're pushing with Uber advantage. See, now because they're pushing with Uber advantage and they let the entire team set up, they're at 50%. They're all on Spire. Like, this is going to be hard no matter what you do. Also, where's the roamer? The roamer's usually over here on the battlement spot. So I'm kind of interested in where he is. So Rando goes down. Still see a soldier in front, still 1 scout in front. So that means, where's the second scout? I haven't seen him in a while. Assuming he's been called and there's no chance of backup. Oh, it seemed like a pretty perfect push. I mean, that only was so easy, though, because the roamer, I'm not sure where he was. It should have been a second soldier spamming him as it came out. It would have been a lot harder. So let's see. Peek's house with Uber, or sorry, overheal advantage. Now they're basically equal Ubers. It's like, I'm a little bit worried that he keeps spamming the patio like that and he's not overhealed. I always feel like if you're going to peek patio, you should be 300. God, this is one of my biggest pet peeves, by the way. If you're a medic and you start crit buffing someone, why do you stop at 220 and not give Captain 300? Like, why? It only takes like a quarter second longer and he's going to be 300. That makes no sense to me. It's one of my pet peeves of TF2. I always make sure I train my medics to never do that to me. So the Suicide 2, force the enemy Uber. So here's the question. Do you think... Yeah, okay. So my prediction is when you Suicide 2 like that, and they have not checked to see where you are, and they back up to Spire, there's only 2 things you can do, right? You can either play full choke, or you can back up. So this is actually a super aggressive, risky play that I probably wouldn't do in their situation because it's I-55. But if it was a normal ESEA match, I would totally do. And that's, you Suicide 2, and then you don't back up, and you hold the choke, and then you Uber into mid right as they're walking up, because that would be the most perfect Uber you could ever have. And look where Fragile is right now, and it would have worked in this situation. It's like a super, super risky play where you're essentially banking on the fact that they think you've backed up when you actually haven't. And it's super rare. I've only done it a few times, but it was something that, like, it's like I had an inkling in my mind. I was like, I could do that in that situation if I was captain right now. Even though I wouldn't because it was I-55, but it's something funny to keep in mind. But this is the problem with defensive Uber. So you force the enemy Uber and you don't do the play I was talking about. And now look, you literally get nothing out of that entire exchange. You Suicide 2 players, got the enemy medic Uber advantage. Your Uber hasn't killed anyone. The only thing you're going to kill is a scout. And what is 1 scout going to get you on... Well, assuming the soldier doesn't die right now. If Ascent decides to go full out, like go all in right now, it'd be really interesting, but I don't think they will. So they actually get Rando? How does Rando die in this situation? Rando should not be dead. Should have been that scout should have died. Interesting they're going to decide to push on it, though. Because So this is why I think this is a bad idea to push. First, Rando's going to spawn. Second, when the enemy medic pops first, that means he has an uber advantage, a slight one, for the next follow-up push. So you're pushing into an enemy's uber advantage plus equal players, and you're basically banking on the fact that you do enough DM. And this one air shot, this is all it takes to ruin the push. He gets air shot, pushes over, time to leave. Enigma suicides on Nox. So now, what's the situation? Now they're going to reset on 2. They're going to hope Captain spawns in time, but Fragile already has Uber. Right now, Ascent should have already been at this train with their medic and walking. Like, they should not stop. The fact that they're all still sitting in mid means that Ascent doesn't realize the advantage they have. Ascent could have just taken the entire yard for free if they knew what the Uber advantage they had. Yeah, you'd probably do it at land too because it's safer play, otherwise you get forced in a bad position, just like what happened. That's what Yuki says, and I agree. It's just... he comes back as heck. God, Enigma's such a fucking scumbag on land. It's unreal. He does this at every I-series. Here's the joke. Someone needs to go through the statistics and see how much Enigma plays heavy versus scout at land. Because so here's the thing. Ascent didn't push that because they're up 1 round and they're just gonna park the bus with, let's see, 3 minutes left. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense if they're parking the bus right now. I wasn't paying much attention at the time, I'm not used to it, but it makes all the sense in the world why they're parking the bus. Why doesn't Clockwork have mod? Wait, why are you saying they have a 10% advantage ... They had 25 to 30 earlier. I'll give you mod anyway, even though you're wrong. Enigma's just in my chat. %? Are you actually... I think they had more than 10%. I'm gonna go back and double check. Because, I mean, they pop so much earlier. It could be, though, that I have, like, a stored version of time, because usually I pause so much in these demos, I like, forget. So let's say they pop in. Hey, right, it's only like 20. It's not that much. It's a little bit over 20 now, but yeah. I mean, I still think a 20% something advantage is worth checking the choke. Okay, let's watch Enigma park the bus, and apparently it fails. The medic back Gray Bridge wouldn't work. You sound really mad, Clockwork. The point is, if you have a small advantage, you just peek, and if they're there, then you go in, and if you don't, then you don't. I mean... Clockwork's making the critical mistake of taking any chat seriously. So let's see. They pop in. Reason pops back. Enigma's still heavy. I want to watch more of Enigma, but this is technically a Captain demo review, so we're gonna go watch Captain. It's basically tanking choke, trying to get his team in. Gunboats let him just jump in and out here. This is like the one good thing about gunboats. Okay, that scout. How are they taking so much damage? Okay, I feel like, look at all of Reason's HP. It's not the Heavy's fault this lost. I'm pretty sure it was Mela and Rando's fault for not jumping that choke, because the entire team stack coming through choke, you could totally jump that and dumpster everyone. It's a question. You're questioning why Reason didn't do a forward hold a few minutes ago. What are the reasons to do a forward hold if it's even Ubers? Basically, forward hold just buys more time from the walk up top. Like, they have to walk... If you're attacking and the enemy team's doing a forward hold, Even if you have Uber disadvantage, it's so good that they have to walk all the way up the spire, then push on battlements, and it saves you time and lets you build Uber. But if it's even Ubers, even still, just holding forward still buys you more time, and it's like, why not do it? More so than why anything else. I mean, you get to take position for free, and then force them to do something, and then back up a few seconds later. Kozin says the advantage was a little bigger because Nox wasn't building well. I agree. Kozin, you're a memer, you're gonna get mod here. You're gonna do well here. Lansky says rando feed, I agree. Wait, I need to give Lansky mod now. Lansky getting mod. Okay, let's see what we got. So the first thing walking into this is the fact that scout capped it so much that this round it's gonna be really, really hard for defend. So Captain finally realizes, I'm kind of surprised I didn't do this earlier, where like if you have a demo and a scout taking in the Uber top left as pocket, you can just walk in top right, because it's not like you're going to do much top left, and he does that, just walks in, he's dominating completely in top right, no one's even really shot him. This round's over. See, 2 minutes remaining. See if anyone gets around. I don't know if they do. I hope I didn't misclick and just ban anybody, but the most important mid of the game, they both jump top right delayed. So this soldier, every single mid has gone completely uncontested on the other side. He just walks up the closet and he jumps. I think I've seen it every single mid. Yeah, and now he's dominating. Like, he just killed Mike. He's still, if you look at his HP, he still has 26. That's still one more jump if you really want to. Gets chased by a scout and dies. Feels like Reason's being a little too predictable in how they do their same rollout every single time on the right side. I mean, mostly out of Mike, I guess, because he keeps jumping early, and so, I don't know, I feel like someone has to shut down a soldier on the left side. It should be a scout, but oh well. Ooh. That's rough, losing a mid and then instantly losing the game. So that's the question, right? Do you ever, if you have 1.5 minutes left, do you go all in? No, don't go all in on a mid fight. I mean, come on, Reason, that was sad. It's a sad ending, not necessarily if the mid was sad, because you never know what's going to happen in a mid fight. Anything could happen. Maybe if they kept that soldier in check, or maybe if Captain and Mike got some lucky air shots, like anything can happen in a mid fight. Otherwise, Captain played pretty well. I think there was like 2 or 3 different situations I would have played differently with Uber, because I have a different style of always going in no matter what and just playing behind people. But overall, I think it was pretty good.